Hello there, my Gummy Knights, and welcome back to the Echo Chamber. Alright, so we're going to be getting into Rwby Volume 8, Episode 2. Episode 1 brought me back into the reality that there are indeed good things about this show. However, it also continued to cripple me with even more of an abundance of actual reality to say that there may indeed be some good, but it is mostly crap. And with that being said, let's go on and get into this.
You wanna see me fall? Stephen Curry, how I ball. Gosha garments and a white 3 on my body. I'm an icon, man. And my girl about a 10.
Real quick, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent. It's not going to be a long tangent. It's not going to be a rambly tangent. It's just going to be something very quick and out of the way because I just need to kind of speak on the idea that they need to get themselves together when it comes to these intros. This is awful. I'm just gonna be honest. The song is terrible. They've just had that. Okay, I've never been a huge fan. Okay, even in the seasons that I like, I've never been entirely a huge fan of the musical choices when it comes to the intros of the volumes. But it's almost as if they've progressively gotten worse. Okay? They don't even care anymore. I'm sorry. I know that may offend somebody who likes the artist's music or whatever, or, who likes the intros and stuff like that. But I mean, this just tells you nothing. The song is terrible. It just makes you feel bad going into it. You're supposed to be getting pumped, and that's clearly the idea. That's clearly the theme, but they just fell at it so hard and they don't care. Just like with the rest of the show.
This is your fault. You realize that, don't you? All I wanted was to bring people together, to give them a chance at a better life. But you...
Me?
Okay, Robin, to kind of debunk your whole mythos here, you did not want to give people a quote-unquote better life. You did not seek to help people. Socialism doesn't help people. You're not helping them in any way possible. You're only crippling them even more than what they already are. And I know they try to play tricks on you with the whole idea that, oh my god, it looks like she's talking about Crow. That is so obvious and so blatant that she's not. Clearly she's pointing out to Jock, but the weird thing is, Jock being on this transport vessel is not entirely unreasonable, but at the same time, you think given the way that they were transported, he probably wouldn't be here. He probably would have already been at whatever prison or whatever they're going to be taking him to, and that these guys would have been separated because they would have been picked up around the same time. I'm referring to Crow and Robin. They would have picked up around the same time, and then those two would be together. But, it's weird, but not entirely unreasonable, is my point there. But I don't know why she's going on this tangent now, and especially when she's promoting lies. Okay, your myth fails, Robin. Your myth fails. The thing about all myths, they have some semblance of believability to them. They have some air of truth in them. There is none in yours, okay? Look, man, I'm not trying to defend Jock here, but I'm just saying, come on, be a bit more reasonable. I don't want to hear shit from you, okay? I don't want to hear nothing from you, Robin. You are a terrible person. You're a terrible human being. I hope you die in a fire.
And I'm not gonna stand here and be lectured by some snake with a mustache who helped that man tear us all apart.
Yes, well, I suppose we're all stuck in it together now.
Alright, I want to go ahead and correct an earlier point. Oh my god, I can't believe I got something wrong. I thought it was a transport vessel. That's on me. But no, it looks like to be an actual prison. I just want to go ahead and correct the record on that one while I'm still in the midst of recording before I go into the editing. Because I know a lot of people tend to not to re-record a lot of lines. They tend to maybe put asterisks or something like that. But whereas I will do that, it just depends on the situation. And in here, I think that it's rather obvious that I should go for the whole idea of admitting when I made a mistake, because I don't want it to just make it look like, because, you know, I know some people have said this, that looks like I'm just hating on the show and just like, oh, hashtag don't watch it. And, you know, I already explained why that's a dumb argument, but I'm not just hating on it for no reason. If I get something wrong in my criticism, I am going to be able to point it out and recognize that I make a mistake. I mean, I just thought it may have been a transport because it looked like they were so close together. So that's why I thought it was like they were being transported. But it looks like they're already in prison. They're in the holding cells or whatever this may be. But as the episode continues, we'll figure out a little bit more here. But in case I have made a mistake, I'm going and pointing out right now, I think that they are in holding cells. They're in separate holding cells, but the holding cells just happen to be right next to each other because, well, they're all in the same prison, the Supermax prison or whatever this is. Anyway, continuing on.
You do realize you've already caught me?
Okay, to be fair, that was funny. That one got a chuckle out of me. just the way you delivered the line, and then it's like, shut up, shut that mouth. Okay, I'll admit it. That was pretty good. That was hilarious. All right, continuing on.
I hate not being able to do anything.
We can do something. We can kill the man who put us here.
With still no word from General Ironwood.
Okay, before this lily white news anchor continues to shovel his beta crap into our faces, Crow, what in the hell are you talking about? Really? You think reasonably he would put the blame on the person who actually caused not only him to be quote-unquote captured when he could have virtually escaped, but is the main source of his problems and his current emotional instability. That, my friend, would be Tyrion. Ironwood, on the other hand, has been doing the right thing. And considering the stuff that happened, again, not you necessarily entirely being involved, but at the same time, members of your team being involved, and essentially causing a myriad of problems to continue to unfold, and the fact of Robin being, well, Robin, and all the problems that she has continued to cause, Ironwood's choices have been very reasonable up until this point, to a certain extent. In terms of what happened to you, and you being in this prison right now, fairly reasonable and fairly justified given the circumstances that would have unfolded if you had have been left to your own devices. He could not have that. He could not have you potentially going in there and allying with the current usurpers or insurrectionists. I mean, he's even tried to give him a chance, as we saw in the last couple of episodes there, to kind of like maybe come into the good side, to come into the side of understanding and actually formulate a cohesive plan in order to be able to stop Salem and all of that heebie-jeebie. But they have continued to be stubborn. They have continued to cripple any type of development towards that common goal. So, Crow, this whole "we must kill Ironwood for putting us in" is out of a basis of nowhere. It makes no sense for you to be saying that. He's not the one who you should really be directing your anger towards, because you're not really angry at him. You're just projecting. Stop it.
I've never seen anything quite like this. It truly feels like the end of days. But the Atlas Eye is committed to updating the public until our dying... Hey, wait!
Hold up. Before she delivers whatever, quote-unquote, and I mean quote-unquote with heavy quotations, cool speech or something like that, I love how he says, it truly looks like the end of days when it just looks like a normal winter snow day, and it seems as though a lot of people are either going on vacation, going to work, or returning to their homes or certain type of hotel, given the district and the blocks around here. I don't know where you get this whole apocalypse now Come on. Talk about the media lying to our faces. You know what this reminded me of? This reminded me of that whole CNN, I think it was CNN, or it may have been MSNBC. One of them, basically during the a big thing that was happening with the riots back in 2020, you know, with George Floyd and stuff like that, when they kept lying and calling it peaceful protests when it was clearly just riots. Literally saying it's peaceful out here while a city burned in the background.
I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking unruly, but fires have been started.
Okay, I think I can get a screenshot. If I can find a screenshot, I'll put it up on screen. Okay. And even, I'll do you guys even one better. Hopefully, if I can find the actual video, I may be able to link it in the description below or put it in a card in like an annotation up there to let you guys know the video I'm talking about. But I'm sure most of you have probably seen that video. Okay, even if you are on the Democrat side and you agree with, you know, Joe Biden and the rest of them, or you even agree with CNN, MSNBC, and, you know, you're like, oh, peaceful protests. Come on, even you gotta admit, and I think most of them would admit, that looks pretty bad considering the city's on fire and you're sitting here talking about peaceful protests. That's exactly what this reminded me of, where he's like, oh, the end of days, it's apocalypse now, okay? It looks like as though the day after tomorrow happened yesterday. And then we see that it basically just looks like nothing is happening at all, and he's just sitting there, exaggerating on exactly what's going on. Now look, we know the scale, and so we know that there's definitely, and we did get to like see some of the other videos of like the Grim and stuff in the sky, but I'm just saying, man, nothing's really happening right now. It's all kind of like in a calm situation because, you know, Salem's being very subtle about her approach to this right now because she has her own plans in which she wants to implement in order to take the city and stuff like that, so she's being a bit more subtle. So yeah, there's no reason to go overboard or to exaggerate.
General Ironwood has abandoned you, but we have not. If you can hear this, gather any food and supplies you need to stay warm, then head to the Mantle crater. The Grim are starting to make their way back into the city, but we can hold the line if we all come together. If we don't, well, you've all seen what's waiting for us out in the storm.
Okay, yeah, but come on. Why don't you direct us towards the people who are leisurely walking as if there's nothing going on right now? Look, I'm almost inclined to agree with you if this wasn't a state of panic, okay? If this wasn't a state of actual apocalypse now. Right now, nothing's really happening. I've seen no other evidence than you talking about the Grim are in the city, that the Grim have now placated the city. They're coming back in and with a vengeance, and as if they're attacking people and stuff like that. And if that was the case, start running! Now look, of course, you don't want people to stir up into a panic because that can cause even more the attraction of the Grim. However, in this case, you do want people to hurry it along. You can hurry people along in an orderly fashion without having them panic. Sitting here casually walking, people still in their homes, just goofing off, despite the fact that I'm assuming you would have issued some type of warning. I mean, this can't be the first time you've actually given people something, and if it is, that's dumb. That's really dumb. How's everyone else getting this message then? What were you doing then for those other people who are walking in the streets? I'm assuming heading to what the Mantle crater or something like that. I forget what the hell she said. But those people walking now, where did they get this message from? You can't just assume because of the Grim. And we know that the transports and stuff had, been taken out because Ironwood reasonably said Mantle's a worthy sacrifice. Let's be honest, Mantle is a shithole. But I'm just saying, come on. Stop trying to sell nonsense to me. I don't even know why I'm trying anymore with this show.
Only take what you need.
The crater? Are you sure it's safe out there?
Absolutely, ma'am.
Okay, Yang, stop bullshitting these people. I already pointed out last time why that wasn't the most optimal solution and why that wasn't safe given the circumstance. I mean, we're finally about to start getting Grim attacking again after these leisurely strolls. I mean, for fuck's sake, John, you're fist bumping people? Are you serious? What is this? What is this? No, but this girl has a reasonable point. Is it safe? No. And nowhere is really safe, actually, if you are stuck here in Mantle, so you are going to die. I could give less of a crap, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. I can give less of a crap. Nowhere is safe. You need to stop BSing these people. If you really want to try, if I'm really gonna sit here and let my humanity show for a second, okay? And I'm gonna empathize, not sympathize. I'm gonna empathize. Oh my god, I can't even say that. I had it right. I'm gonna empathize with their situation here. If you really want to try to help them, your solution isn't really going to work anyway, but I mean, the best thing is to really not lie to these people and get them there as quickly and as efficiently as possible without stirring up mass panic to draw the attention of the Grim, instead of this disorganized, disheveled mess of people just doing whatever the hell it is they want and taking it so casual as if there's not a freaking apocalypse going on right now. That's insanity. Okay, if we're just supposed to take the stuff that they say in the show at face value, this is insanity. Come on, there's a better way to help these people. We've already been over this. Let's use our brain housing groove, okay? For something more than disgusting Blake jizz juice hair. Okay? Sorry about that, Oscar. What happened to you and that whole getting all that mess, getting all that nastiness inside of your mouth.
Journey all the way to the crater.
Do we really gotta shack up with those animals down in the slums? I'd feel a lot safer being up in Atlas.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. But the people up top have decided you're not worth the trouble.
Oh no! The top! The big billionaires! The 1%! We got to take down the 1%, okay? The people at the top to take you. Sorry, that was my terrible Bernie Sanders impression. But I can't believe this lady. I absolutely love her. This grandma's like, do we really have to go down with the dirt? Oh my god. Yes. If only, you know, you guys could have been an Atlas. You know, you think this would be something you bring up to whatever governmental head you have down here left in Mantle. You know, kind of like bring it up. I mean, it's amazing to me. The common citizenry, when you get to let them talk, they actually are the only ones who have functioning IQs and are asking the poignant questions or are making rational statements. And everyone else is supposed to be leading them through this danger. It's just being a complete and utter total numbskull. It's insane. Oh my god. Oh man, I love this.
The Faunus, on the other hand, have been willing to lend all the help they can, regardless of whether or not you deserve it.
Oh, fuck off.
Wow. Oh yes, Yang. Oh yeah, she's an incredible bigot. I had no idea. Who the cares about the Faunus? Wait, we've seen Faunus and humans alike. Oh my god, there's so much wrong here. We already went how Faunus, I mean, first to start with the Faunus impression, we already pointed out numerous times how that's bullshit. Okay? Talk about my humanity, my ability to empathize. Yang, are you serious? Whether or not you deserve it. Oh my god, I didn't even know she was talking about the Faunus. No, I don't even know where to start. I brought up some points here and there, but it's just so much wrong in there. Oh yeah, you absolute scum. Way to have a personal opinion that I disagree with. That makes you human trash. You don't deserve to be saved. I hope a Grim comes and eats you. Jesus Christ, Yang, you absolute psychopath. Now. Oh, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. You know, doesn't deserve to be. Man, what the? Have been willing to help. Have been willing to help. Are you serious? Where's it at though? Yo, where at? the fondness that we've seen throughout the course of these episodes of the citizenry, where's the willing to help? Where's the willing to, quote unquote, do their part? And Yang, why are you putting such a hefty burden onto them? Why would they feel any differently? Bigotry goes on both ways, and we've seen it from the fondness sides too. Hello, Adam? We see what this type of ideology and thinking that one side deserves more than the other can lead to in terms of extremism. Crying out loud, but oh yes, I know, because you're carpet thumping with some cat girl that you honestly believe you can stand on your moral high horse here in this quote unquote opinion that you have. I hate you, Yang. I hate you.
Don't want to go to the slums. General Ironwood said we were going to Atlas. You're setting a bad example. Those kids.
It should not be this hard getting people to just cooperate.
Oscar, what are you talking about? Everyone is cooperating. What? What? Everyone is cooperating, you lunatic. You brainlet. Oh my God. I love how he says, gosh, it is just hard to get people cooperating, as everyone's cooperating by walking through the streets and going along with your idiotic plan. Which, by the way, since when Rin masks you, you turn into this gray thing. I mean, I could tell if he's masking Jaune because, you know, he's direct contact with him, but what about Oscar? What about Yang? Is he not masking them? You just have to assume that, even though they give no indication that that's happening. Freaking idiots. So I hope Grimm comes to attack us so I can blame them. But then it's like, Oscar being a nosy douchebag is all in these people's conversation because that old woman is rightfully calling out how stupid the side plot of the eternal conflict going on with the faunus versus humans. I mean, she's just, you know what? I'm not even gonna say she's right. She's just voicing her opinion, which she has every right to do. This is not discooperation, okay? She is perfectly cooperating with the group. Again, we have physical evidence showing that your statement makes no sense. It's just a straight up lie. It doesn't matter if she's voicing concerns. She has every right to do that. This is what she's choosing to do. I can see if, you know, because I mean, I guess her volume is a bit loud. But then again, I think Rin's ability is able to mask all aspects of you from the Grimm, including sound. So, I mean, if nobody's telling her to be quiet, I'm not really assuming that's the issue. But if he had brought that up, like, hey, you know, like she's being a little bit too loud, that may, you know, I don't know Rin's ability like that. I mean, I don't know what it can do entirely. It may not, you know, mask like sound or whatever. And so, you know, and in that event, her being too loud could attract the Grimm. That's probably something that she should keep down. And even then, it's only her. I don't know why he's lumping in the rest of the group with this lady talking about it shouldn't be this hard for people to cooperate, as if they're all just being disorganized instead of following this group, okay? Instead of actually going along with this quote-unquote plan. Stop it. You're insane.
You all have every right to be upset. Especially you, Oscar. I'm sorry I left you.
I'm not upset that you left. I'm upset you came back. I started to feel like me. Not the same me I was before all of this, but the me I always wanted to be. I felt like I was actually part of the team.
I understand. But even though it may not have felt like I was with you, I was never truly gone. You're gaining control of my remaining magic, recollecting my longest held memories, which means our two souls are still on the inevitable path to becoming one.
But I don't want that.
Neither do I.
You know something, to kind of like speak on this a little bit here. Ozpin, in all of your times that you've done this, I'm assuming this is how you came to this conclusion, but I would actually ask him, has he ever tried to merge a soul? And this isn't a criticism, I'm genuinely curious. Has he ever tried to merge a soul? Or, you know, when he's in the process of merging a soul, has he ever tried to cohabitate the body? You know, I kind of like have both minds balancing. Now, I know this wouldn't be an effective long-term strategy because at that point you just have so many people talking and directing over a body, especially if they can continuously take over it. I mean, I don't remember them directly saying that Ozpin, every time he goes to a new body, carries over, I mean, other than his memories, but carries over the other person's memories. I don't think from what we saw that he does, so it's always just two people at once. But and if that's the case, then it could be a long-term strategy of, you know, coming to cohesive understanding. There's this show, no, I guess I can't use that as an example. But there's a show, Jujutsu Kaisen. Forget how you pronounce the demon's name. But there's this, he's our main character, he's our protagonist, his name is Yuji, and he essentially has a Sekuna, a Skune, something like that. I can't think of, you guys can tell me in the comments how to pronounce it, but he has him in his body. Now, of course, this isn't necessarily the most, that's why I said it's not really an entirely good example, but they cohabitate a body and they've reached a mutual agreement or somewhat of an understanding, even if Yuji doesn't necessarily remember what that agreement is, because, you know, he ends up happening to forget. That's part of the deal. But that, you know, he could take over the body and they work in tandem with each other, not necessarily entirely cohesively. I mean, there's like one episode where you truly get to remember that this guy is a demon and that he is, you know, like evil. I mean, well, he's a cursed spirit, but he's like the king of cursed spirits. So I guess demon wouldn't be the most accurate name, but still nonetheless, it's still kind of like basically a demon. But essentially, I mean, I guess, or, you know, like Naruto and Kurama, that'd be better. Naruto, Kurama, you know, I mean, sure, it was a struggle at first, but, you know, they managed to come together and they managed to combine. So, you know, they managed to combine on the equal playing field and are able to utilize each other's abilities to the fullest. I'm thinking that this could be a solution that I would hope he have looked into. If he hadn't worked, I understand that, but if it's not something he's looked into, I think maybe look into it, because I mean, clearly, I don't know what's going to happen necessarily at the end of it. I don't know if they're actually going to just turn over Oscar completely to Ozpin, or maybe who knows, Oscar, you know, completely takes over and Ozpin just becomes, you know, part of him and he becomes the dominant. But I think from the way this is going, they may try to have a blend, and then in which case my criticism, if any, would be, why didn't you try this before? And if they say they're probably gonna come up with some bullshit excuse like, oh, well, I just didn't have a super compatible host, you know, like I do with Oscar. He's basically like my reincarnation, or some crazy nonsense like that. But yeah, I mean, it is something to look into. Maybe you should try it.
You can do it, Ren. We're almost to the crater.
I don't need a pep talk. I need to focus.
Right.
You know what? To be fair, Ren is, you know, he has taken up a lot of the work here. But still, that was a bit rude. Come on, man. He's your friend. I know you're upset about the whole Nora thing, but get over it. You don't need her. Trust me, you don't need her, Ren. Please get over that. You have actual people here who you can, I guess, rely on, who are actually trying to be here for you. And, you know, pep talk may help. I mean, this is all so gloomy and doomy and dark. I mean, something inspirational. Maybe? I don't know.
All right, come on.
Thanks again for coming.
Don't mention it. Once Robin learned about Amity Tower, she wouldn't shut up about it. Wherever she is, I'm sure she would want us doing what we can to get it up in the air and get the world talking again. Besides, Fiona's got your friends helping out in my stead.
Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I'm not one to normally criticize voice actors. You know, I say everyone tries their best with what they're given a lot of the times. But it's not so much that she's awful. She just doesn't really fit the character. They have a Negro voice. First of all, yes, I'm bringing it up. They have a Negro voice and some white chick, and the voice doesn't mesh with the character's appearance, outlook, and tone. And then just the line delivery itself. It's like, oh God, man. And the mic, it's like they just shoved it into her mouth. She's so freaking loud. So you get to hear every word. It's like, Jesus Christ. Maybe back off a little bit. You don't have to deep throat that thing. Crying out loud. I'm just saying, look, I'm not, usually I don't tend to criticize on that front, but I'm just saying this one I just have to point out because it is exceptionally tragic in this instance. And I think she's spoken before, and I probably didn't even notice it, but now I do, and that's not a good thing in this case.
I do not like it when friends fight.
I know. Yang and I might not agree on how best to save Mantle,
No. I mean Winter. The General. They were our friends. But then the Aesops attacked you. And the General, he said people were going to die. Because of me.
Penny. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear nothing out of your mouth. Kill yourself. Send yourself up a tube. You have completely destroyed my faith that you could ever redeem yourself as a good character. I remember when you started off, you were kind of annoying, a bit in your face, but you grew on people because you were kawaii desu. Okay, you're very kawaii, but now you're just annoying. Kill yourself, you overgrown washing machine.
So how do we use this thing?
It should be simple. If you lie back in the tube and press launch...
You know, I was kind of kidding earlier when I said Penny send yourself up the tube and die. I mean, like I was pseudo kidding. I kind of do want that to happen, especially now that I know that it's the actual thing, that this was indeed the plan. I mean, you just can't get any more in a state of lunacy. You know, I thought it was going to be something that's actually worth me praising the show on its ingenuity and intelligence, but no, they're legit just going to stick each other in tubes and send it up. How this works, and so far what we know is a type of tubing system that's made specifically for packaging and handling packaging, but apparently people too? I know that aura sort of makes you pseudo indestructible until it breaks. I don't know how you're gonna really justify this one. I'm sorry, my suspension of disbelief can only cover so much. I legit can't believe, but I mean, when I first saw it, I thought, oh man, they're gonna do something this dumb. Like sending themselves up the tube. It's amazing that I called that. I'm sad that I called that. That's not a good thing. Wow. Okay, this is where we're at. Great. Let's just have fun with it.
No, Crimson, I need you and your team over in Sector 11. Mantle police are helping us clear the hospital, but they're gonna need backup.
Yo, I'm just gonna say it. I'm so glad that they kept Fee alive, because she's my Wonder Girl, okay? She's my Sheep Girl. You guys wanna know my real secret reason why I keep coming back to the show every day? Is because she needs to be protected. I don't care what happens. I don't care what she does. She could literally be worse than Miro, okay, Robin, Nora, Penny. Okay, she'd be worse than all of the worst characters in the show right now put together, and I would still say protect her. I would die on the 1,000 stakes for this woman. Yes, I simp for her. Yes, I simp for the sheep girls. Problem? I didn't think so.
You cleared 7 already? That's great! To be honest, I wasn't sure how you'd be doing without all of your teammates.
Oh my gosh, she's so fucking kawaii!
What just happened?
They ran. I've never seen Grim act that way before.
But what were they running from?
Oscar!
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was the most pathetic showing of Oscar ever. I know you guys have actually seen his progression, and yo, Osborn, where were you at on the help there? You remember that time you fought Hazel, and you were like totally possessing him, you were all badass and cool? Really? Man, they've been doing this to Oscar recently. They've been kind of just having him getting his ass kicked. He's looking like an impotent child. He's just kind of everyone's toe boy. And I get it. He's supposed to be more of the moral conscious right now, but come on, man. He can still fight. What the hell was that? It was like a little baby out there. That was pathetic. And yes, I get it. He just learned about aura, so I can kind of forgive the whole breaking on him. But come on, really? Like 2 hits? This Grim doesn't even look that powerful. Come on. No, dude. Jesus, that was just sad. Like, I almost cried. It's like, wow, it's pathetic.
But Grim aren't that smart. Give him back! Did it just...
So if you guys ever want to know why I'm Team Salem, well, you have your answer.
Kids, what's your status? We've got an emergency. We're not gonna make it. What? What kind of emergency?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
No, Yang, no. What are you talking about? Nah, fam. If you told her they're specialized Grim, and I'm assuming, given that she's most likely fought Grim before, and this isn't the first time we've seen special type Grim who've had certain special type abilities, who've had the ability to sit there and morph and be able to change themselves. Sure, not one's as advanced as this, but we have seen advanced before. What are you talking about? She wouldn't believe you. She has all the evidence that she needs to believe you. Given what we know from the show and what she has seen, and given what we could ascertain from her being on the team with Robin, and most likely, given their combat skill and ability and how well they handle themselves against Grim, I'm assuming that they are somewhat capable. They have fought them before. They've had actual battle experience. So, no. Tell her. Come on, keep her informed. This is what we're talking. Your whole plan right now is to get Oscar. I get that. But still, one of the biggest themes, especially when it comes to the other side, is about communication. Come on. This is something that could help. Come on, communicate. Don't be so stuck in your ways that you go into stupid town. Come on. No. You tell her. You tell her what's going on. You tell her why you're abandoning the place that you're supposed to be at in order to help clear out the other Grim. Tell her the importance of this, because it makes no sense otherwise if you just leave her hanging and you look like an asshole for just abandoning your mission. Come on. No.
Pull the trigger. Ain't nobody gonna do for you. Pull the trigger.
Maybe you should pull the fucking trigger.
All right, and that was the end right there, my Gummy Knights. Another banger in the books. Yay. This was another bad episode, okay? I'm gonna be honest. Well, whereas again, I mean, there are big portions where I don't conversate over the episode, but it's not because any of it's good. It's just going along. It's trucking along. Whenever something is related to the plot that they bring up, it's bad. Okay? It's awful. Or when I'm adding commentary, it's because the bulk of the stuff that is for me to provide commentary on within the show, it's just bad. It's awful. I'm being legit serious. It's not getting better. But I'm gonna stick with it. Okay, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna just quit. I'm going to stick with it. And if by the end of this volume, okay, Salem hasn't won, Ironwood hasn't either joined Salem or is the victor overall, hasn't been the one to beat her, and some of my most hated characters don't end up biting the dust, I am done. There will be no reaction to Volume 9, if they're even having a Volume 9, I don't even know. There will be no more further discussion on Rwby. The way this season is trucking along, I'm only asking for a few things, and I will continue. I can't guarantee that I will be reacting because this is very taxing on me. It's very taxing. I don't like being this negative. I can't guarantee, but I can at least somewhat promise that I will try my absolute best. But again, by the end of this, if nothing has changed, nothing has evolved, nothing has gotten better, we're done. That is it. This will be the end of the Rwby content on this channel. I know some of you may be rooting for that because you're thinking, oh man, yay, let's hope it's bad, or at least bad to him by his standards. That way, we never have to see it again, and that's fine. Whatever. I know some of you are going to be missing me crushing the soul of the show because, again, I will always point this out. There was a time where it was good. And hell, if you look at I wouldn't recommend watching those videos because they're definitely terrible. And I mean, not so much in, the content itself, even though the content is not very good. It is more so in my reaction. It's just kind of like, well, here's something I like, and I'm like, yeah, woo, okay, this is good. I like that. Or it's usually me just asking questions or whatever. Now, that was the old Rwby reactions. Okay, when it was genuinely good, I didn't have much to discuss. Okay, because I started with Volume 3, and I pretty much stopped, I think, Volume 6, because it had gotten to a point where I couldn't justify anything anymore, where I couldn't just be sort of a pseudo yes man, where I'm literally crying and whining like, oh yes, this is so good, this is so great, because I was lying to myself. And even I had to admit, the show has just been getting worse. Season 5, okay, Volume 5 was not that good when you actually look at it from an objective standpoint. But when I was reacting to it, I was going like, okay, this doesn't make too much sense. But I mean, let's look at this good thing over here that I like. It wasn't even looking at it like, oh, it's objectively bad, and I still like it. But it was just like, I like it, okay, and I'm not think too hard about it. And that had become me, and I didn't want to be that. Well, I still don't want to be this negative, but I'm just happen to look at the show from an objective lens. And right now, it's shit. That's what it is. It's shit. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
And to all my Gummy Knights, new and old, just remember, this is a man's world, but it would be nothing without his brain and his bronze. And lying is indeed the most fun that a woman can have without taking off her clothes. Good night.
Swear to take it up in you, trying to listen, or we're still so young, desperate for attention. I aim to be your eyes, trophy boys, trophy wives. Applause, applause, no wait, dear studio audience, I've an announcement to make. It seems the artists these days are not who you think, so we'll pick back up on that on another page.